By looking at this picture, you see an atrocious young man, a thug, hard criminal. But by the end of this video, you will see how God will begin to take and shape and mold this young man's life for his glory. Matthew 19:26 says, with men it is impossible, but with God all things are possible.
Also known as Holy Cabana, but a lot of you may remember me as Boot Gang. I gained worldwide fame at 20 years old, but I had so much trauma and brokenness on the inside that the world didn't know about. The outward is just a reflection on what's inside. My mother and my stepfather raised me. My stepfather passed when I was 14, but my stepfather was the only father figure that I was familiar with. After he passed away, it was just my mother. She was working and she was really isolated. I was left navigating my teenage years primarily on my own.
Hey, it's the birthday boy!
There was just something inside of me that I'm like, I am $1 million man. I was inspired from a social media content creator. I seen him reckless on the internet, flashing a lot of money. I'm like, dang, if that's all you have to do is just be a fool to get money, took that, put my spin on it, and just blew up.
I'm the next up set. Boom gang.
Boom is a name that my mother gave me.
Boom gang, whole lot of gang. Boom gang, got the biggies on the.
Boom means a blunt laced with cocaine.
Boom gang, a whole lot of.
I just wanted fame, and more than fame, I wanted to be rich. The quickest way that I could reach the millions was through the entertainment that I decided to do. At 20 years old, I gained notoriety for one thing. So I thought I had to continue that one thing to maintain my fame. At 20, I was dealing with a lot of brokenness from my childhood because I was dealing with hurt from my father not being in my life. I was raised in a household with 5 other siblings who had their father. So as a kid, I'm looking at 5 other brothers and sisters of mine who have their father, and I'm like, where's my dad? You could see this young man screaming, fighting. Anybody with sense, you could just know it's something going on in the inside of that person. That's what it was. I was just dealing with a lot of hurt, trauma, pain, and brokenness. When I got a taste of drugs, it just numbed what I was feeling on the inside. So I continued seeking that feeling because I didn't want to feel the pain and hurt and trauma that I was feeling. And I didn't know how else to deal with it. It was a hit and run, 3 gun charges, and a possession of narcotics that I was facing, and I was in Los Angeles. It started out as a 3-year prison sentence, and I ended up getting sentenced 5 months county time. At 22 years old, in jail, I'm thinking about when I get out, how can I get my account back? I'm thinking about my fame, notoriety, that's all on my mind. My cellmate, Joshua Pardue, well, I will never forget this man. He asked me, where are you from? That term is used in LA as, what gang do you rep? What gang are you in? I said, I'm from Jacksonville, I'm from Florida. Then his next question was, do you believe in Jesus? And I've had the gospel tried to be preached to me before, but I was never receptive to. So I said, yes, sir, I do believe in Jesus. May you tell me more about him? And I just remember this man teaching me the Bible, and more than teaching me, showing me the love of God. And my heart began to transform because I've done so much wrong in my life. I've caused so much hurt and pain to people. and hearing the gospel, how Jesus Christ came down to this world to die for people like me. I'm looking at my life through the lenses of the love of God. I don't deserve forgiveness, but Jesus died so that I could have it. He's willing to give it to me if I believe in him and I asked for it. And I began to worship and sing. And I laid down on my bunk and I just felt sad and I started crying. And immediately the presence of God came over me and stripped my sadness away and filled me with joy. I jump off my bunk. I woke my cellmate up. I say, Josh, wake up. Man, I was singing to Jesus. I was worshiping. I started crying. Josh, look at the tears on my face. I'm trying to prove to him my experience. But something came over me and took away my sadness. Something came over me and filled me with joy. He looked me in my face and he said, you just had an encounter with the Holy Spirit. When I got out of jail, I was still focused on life. But one man plants, another man waters, and God gives the increase. So my water was a good friend of mine having a near-death experience, being pronounced dead and coming back to life, looking me in my face and like, John, Jesus is real. I was on the verge of death so many times, and even then God had a plan for me. And seeing my friend who was once healthy, small, and like, John, Jesus is real, I took it upon myself to make the decision to live my life fully for God.
John, we baptize you right now in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Yes, sir.
God has redeemed me. He has restored me. He's given me a new name.
My name is John, also known as Holy Gabbana.
It's my mission to share my testimony, to tell people that we have a loving and understanding God. And it doesn't matter about the mistakes we made. It doesn't matter where we're from. It doesn't matter about our race, our background. God loves us. He has a plan for us. And his plan is greater than the plans we have for ourselves. Because at 20 years old, I said, I'm $1 million man. And the path that God has laid out for me has brought me way more fulfillment than the path that I thought would 7 years ago. Now, today, I'm a Christian because I've experienced the love of God.